Now it's time to go into details and plan the human resource for this facility. I click this button. I wait a few seconds and I see this form. This form is probably the most complicated in PASS, because dealing with the human resource is certainly quite a challenge. So let's see how it's structured. There is this first frame, and we have to select the department. So you can see you have a list with the 3 departments that are forming our small outpatient facility, and in the same frame you see also a recap about the beds that are present in the facility. This is meant as an help, as a support to constantly cross-check the staff and the actual capacity of the facility in terms of medical activities. So you have here the overall number of beds, so clinical and maternity, the department bed, and the breakdown inside the department in terms of examination table, clinical bed, and maternity bed. As you saw, according to the room, a specific typology of bed is already encoded. Since we have only outpatient, you see that all the insertion that we did are all in the category examination table. So this is the situation. So now let's have a look at the staff. We have 2 tabs: staff allocated to the department and facility management staff. So let's start with the first tab. As you can see, you have from 1 to 24 available positions. Those positions are kind of the range of position that you can use to describe the staff that you need in your department. You can also see that already PASS is providing you with some suggestions. The suggestions are in the form of the ratio that in certain categories are present by default, and are telling you, look, according to the app, you need a medical doctor, a generalist, every 40 bed. In this case, since it's an outpatient, it's meant every 40 examination tables. You always have to adjust the ratio to the typology of bed in the specific department. If this ratio of 40 bed per position is applied, in this case, since we have only 4 bed in the department, the PASS is rounding up to the next integer. So in this case, of course, it's 1. You see that they are not foreseen any of these position, MD specialist, surgeon, anesthetist, an extra medical doctor, and nurse OT, because of course they are very specific for other departments. Instead, it's foreseen that you need a clinical officer with a ratio of 2 clinical officers per examination table. You might agree, you might disagree with that, it's completely up to you. If you want to change it, you have the option of introducing a different user choice. So for example, you might say, okay, I agree, I want a clinical officer as part of my staff, but 2 in the main shift is too much, I just need 1. So what you have to do here is basically to change the ratio that PASS is using. So instead of 2, you might just want you see that there are 4 beds here. So if you introduce a 4 here, you are telling to PASS, look, use 4 bed per clinical officer as a ratio. So you insert here and you click compute shift, and you see that the number of clinical officers in the main shift has moved from 2 to 1, and it was exactly what we wanted. So you see that, for example, it's foreseen a nurse supervisor, it's foreseen a nurse pro, a nurse assistant, a midwife, and a cleaners. In this case, for the cleaners, for example, we might believe that 1 is not enough and we want 2. So in this case, we have to increase the ratio and to get a 2 here, we have to insert a 2 as well, since we have only 4 examination table. And now you see that it has been updated to 2. One point, it's also important that in this case it's not really relevant, because we saw that the outpatient service has only a shift per day. In case of a 24-hour service, for example, like an emergency room, what you are staffing here is the main shift, usually the morning shift. The other shift will be calculated according to the information that you inserted in the previous step in the labor user form. So please keep in mind that what you see here in this column is the staff that is allocated to the main shift. If it's the only shift of the day, like in this case, fine, that's it. Instead, if a night shift or a service around the clock is foreseen, more staff will be computed by PASS with the labor parameters. Last thing, you have also an option to include extra staff. If you believe that these 24 categories are not enough to provide the full number of staff, you have kind of a joker. You have these 2 slots where you can insert directly a number of staff that you need in that main shift. In this case, you only have 2 categories, health staff and non-medical staff, and it's not a ratio, but it's a direct number. So if you want to add 3, you just add 3 here, and you will end up with 3 more staff that are included in the shift.